Welcome, everybody. My name is Regan Miner. I am the chairman of the Historic District Commission, and welcome to the regular meeting on April 21st, 2021. So for those of you on the call, I've got a prepared spiel that I'm just going to read just so everyone kind of knows the lay of the land of what to expect here. So for starters, please note that this meeting is being recorded and will be accessible later on the City of Norwich's website under the Historic District Commission's page. This meeting tonight will be divided into two sections, the public hearing portion of the meeting and the regular meeting. The public hearing is the opportunity for the applicants to present their applications to the Commission and for the Commission to ask applicants questions. Once the public hearing closes, the regular meeting will then begin. The regular meeting is when the regular meeting is when the Commission discusses and votes on the applications. Applicants are welcome to stay and listen to the regular meeting, but please note you will not be allowed to speak on your application further or provide any more information. Applicants are invited to stay, but you will not be required to at all.
Maybe that's all that's needed.
Well, ask her if she can see you or hear you.
Regan, can you hear me? See
I
me?
can, and I can
Thank
see you
you
as well, Nancy.
Thanks, Deb. Thank you. Thanks, Deb. Thank you, Regan. Sorry for the interruption.
No, you're okay. Thank you, Nancy.
Okay.
So if you don't wish to stay for the regular meeting, you will receive a written notification from me tomorrow regarding the Commission's decision. And so thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Any questions before we move forward and get started? Okay, hearing no questions. I am then going to open up the public hearing beginning at 5:34 p.m. And the way this is going to go is I'm just going to call the applicants based on the order on the agenda. And so the first applicant we have here on our agenda is COA 447 39 East Town Street. I do not believe we have an applicant here presenting on behalf of this application. Is there anyone here presenting on COA 447? Hearing none, I'm going to then move forward on the agenda, which is COA 448 55 East Town Street. I believe we have an applicant present to discuss the application. So Tom, please feel free to unmute yourself and take it away.
Okay, hi. Tom Callanan and Ann Shapiro is here, my wife, out of the picture. Not that she's out of the picture, she's out of your picture. Get that later, perhaps. We want to put a new roof on our house. We want to do a cedar roof. It's when we moved here in 2007, they told us we'd probably have about 15 years left, and we've been replacing the cedar shingles as they've blown off, and now it's too brittle to get up there and do it, so we have to bite the bullet, and we're going to go with cedar again, even though it had been done with asphalt shingles before. We have photos of that from when it was put up. The house was put on the National Register back in 1960, I believe, and talked to Erin Fink up at the Historic Preservation, and she said that it would be okay with them for the tax credit if we went with the asphalt, but we would prefer to do the cedar, and I imagine you would prefer that too. So we've talked to Connecticut Roof Crafters, who did the Leffingwell Inn and Leffingwell Museum, both. The Historic Tourism Office, and the one next to it, the Carpenter Silver Shop, is going to be done as well by them, and also another one was done on the green by them. So we feel that they've got a track record here, and we're happy to use them. So I don't know what else you need from me.
Great, that's awesome, Tom. Thank you so much. Do any members of the commission have questions for Tom and Ann?
No, it's the Gardner Carpenter house, right?
It is. Oh, it was. It's the Tom Callan and Shapiro House. Now,
Yeah, to your house, yeah.
we're paying for it, so we get a name on it too.
There you go.
And confirming the materials are like for like currently, and it's on just the gambrel, the main house
What?
portion, or
It's on the Gambrel part of
Yeah, that's his problem.
the house, not the addition parts in the back. Because
correct?
those were already done back in 2007 when we put took down the garage and built our studio. The approval of the then Historic District Commission, we put on architectural shingles on that and our shed back there. We're not going to touch that.
And again, right now it's like for like materials replacement.
Yep.
Correct?
Mm-hmm. We're going to add a copper strip along the back so that it will retard any of the whatever forest is growing on the back of our house now, because whoever did it back in '96 did not. And so the only place we have unfettered view of the cedar underneath is where the zinc from the toilet vents there's a reaction to the water to the metal, and nothing grows there. So we're going to have the copper strip put on all the way across the roof to retard that. Hopefully this will be the last one I ever do in my lifetime.
Awesome. Thank you, Tom. Any other questions for the applicant?
No,
No, nothing for me, Regan.
Okay.
no questions.
Fabulous. Thank you, Tom. Tom, you're welcome to stick around and hang out if you'd like, or you're welcome to sign off, and I will email you tomorrow.
I think we're going to gouge out. I've been fixing the toilet all day, so my patience is gone.
I don't blame you. Well,
Lucky
I will
you.
be in touch with you via email tomorrow.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Anne.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And for all you.
Okay, so the next COA on our agenda is COA 449, which is 7 East Town Street, and I believe we do have an applicant present to discuss their application. Clayton, I'll let you take it away.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. At 7 East Town Street, we are wanting to install and replace the heating system. Right now we have a natural gas furnace from the mid to late 70s. It's about this winter we reached over $10,000 in heating costs. So we want to replace, and one of those things to replace it with a high efficiency boiler. We want to also put in a cooling system, which is going to require an AC unit on the exterior part of the home. We picked out one spot that we think is a good location for it to go. On the side of the house, it is on the East Town Street part of the house, and right now it has a seasonal bush, so only in the spring and summer will it blossom and really be full and be able to cover it. So in the winter you would see through it, and we're willing to replace it and actually put a different either a wooden fence that would match the house, or another plant or a bush to kind of cover that all winter long.
And you're fixed on the location you're going to be putting it on your house, right? There are no other options where it could be visible from the street?
So there is a spot underneath the deck. It just kind of puts a lot of clutter and underneath the deck. And
Okay.
So that spot that you highlighted there in the corner, I mean, it doesn't really look like there's enough room between the house and that bush. I mean, that seems like that bush would have to go anyway.
Yes, sir. The bushes are ultimately we want to move it. So whether we replace it or just replant it 5 feet in front of it to hide the AC condenser receiver.
Yeah.
Or replace it completely.
The condensers, the connections to that going through the window or through the brick? How is that going to be connected?
It's going to go through the brick.
Okay,
And that
great.
other vent that to the right of the window, it'd be in picture 1. That's a vent for what now?
That is the radon vent.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Do you have, is this a boiler or a forced air system?
It's going to be both, sir.
Okay. So you'll be putting ductwork inside the house then too?
Yes, sir.
And just for clarification, I think what Greg was saying also, I think you had somewhere where you would move the bush, or you're also open to replacing it with a different, something would be more blocking of the unit itself, a different bush.
Yes, sir. Like a all-weather pine bush, or something that just didn't the leaves didn't fall off over the winter.
Is there any fencing in your yard now?
I have see-through black fencing, so it's kind of nothing really that I can keep the I guess the design going.
Okay.
It wouldn't hide it,
That,
I guess I would say.
yeah, that's what I was going to say. That fencing is in picture 2 down to the left. That was kind of newish, whatever, but it's underneath the deck above it. But it wouldn't provide any covered or blocking of the unit if it was placed down below.
Yeah, we had approved that black fencing that you were just referring to a while ago. So, but you're right, it wouldn't necessarily match the wood fence either. So
It seems
Or a
like
couple of small evergreens.
seems like putting a short piece of wood fencing that would look a little out of place since that's would be the only fencing. Something like a shrubbery would probably be better.
I would agree with that. But again, in your preferences or whatever, it doesn't matter whether you did a fence or bush. If we suggested one or the other, you seem amenable to either.
Yes, sir.
I'm
What's
looking
your
at the.
preference? Oh, go on, I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, Greg. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just looking at the photo on photo 2, and it appears that there already is kind of a evergreen bush to the side of the location where the proposed unit is going. So I'm wondering if maybe a similar plant to what's there already existing would match that space well.
Excellent.
That's exactly what we're if the recommendation was approved, that we're going to try to match that exact design.
Cool, awesome. Does any other members of the commission have further questions or thoughts for Clayton? And Clayton, do you have any other pieces to add to your application?
No, ma'am, I do not.
Reagan, can we ask about the additional work that's going on there?
We can, yeah. I did email Clayton today just to ask about what was going on. Greg, do you want to ask the question?
No, just adjust my glasses.
Oh, no, I meant, sorry, Greg Johnson. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Greg.
But when I drove by to take a look at the application, and there seemed to be some some excavation and for some sort of foundation or patio or something going on.
Yes, sir. So our retaining wall for the driveway was completely rotted out and collapsed over the winter from the snow. So the construction is I rebuilt the retaining wall because the driveway was like coming into the yard. So I put a new retaining wall up, and then I put a small garden bed. I just haven't put any dirt in that yet, so it doesn't look like a garden bed yet.
Is it completed, that construction? Because it's above, I'm not recalling the other retaining wall, or was that retaining wall actually at ground level going into the back? Because this, right now, what seems to be is above ground level.
Yes, sir. The old retaining wall was part concrete and then part wood, and the wood completely rotted out, and a root from the two big trees next to it actually grew through the concrete. So that's what collapsed the wall inevitably. So I just got rid of all the wood and put concrete blocks.
So Tim, you can't see it in the pictures that he provided. He's not talking about that wall you can see in the second picture. It's on the other side of the driveway. So
Right.
it'll be on the
I went by it the other day also and noticed it, and I know I missed the previous meeting, so I wasn't sure if it had been discussed in a previous meeting, and was going to mention it also. And what I can't remember is, again, anything that would have been above ground level to the left of that car. But what's there now seems to be above ground level, whether it was wood or whatever before. I don't remember it being above like that.
Yeah, so I had chatted with Clayton very briefly today via email, and I recommended that maybe for our May meeting, he submit a COA just because the materials changed slightly. I know it was a mix of concrete and wood before, but now since the material is now just concrete, I thought it'd be good just to have a COA at our May meeting. We obviously can't fit it in for today, but next month for sure. So any other questions or comments for the applicant, and any further comment from the applicant?
No.
Okay. So Clayton, you're welcome to stick around if you'd like, or you are more than welcome to go eat your dinner or go do whatever else you'd like to do this evening. Either way, you will hear from me via email tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Ms. Reagan.
Thank you, Clayton, for joining us. Welcome to the neighborhood too. I know you guys moved in recently, so thank you for choosing Norwich.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so the next COA we have on our agenda is COA 450 87 Town Street. And I don't think we have anybody here to speak on behalf of the application. So once again, I'll just ask, is there anyone here to speak on behalf of COA 450? Seeing none, I will move on to the next COA on the agenda. COA 451 34 East Town Street. I believe we do have someone here to comment on the application. So Pam, I will let you present and take it away. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. And I want to publicly thank Bill and Regan for all their help. This has been a multi-year project to try to make our general administration building energy efficient. So we've done several projects that have already been approved, and this final one is the installation of 70 plus new windows. So we've hired Evelyn Cole Smith Architects, who is a historic architect, and she helped complete the COA. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, but she certainly is more of an expert than I could have ever been. So feel free to ask questions. This will be a phased project. We don't have enough money. We estimate the windows will be about $3,000 plus each. So it will be a phased project with hopefully doing the front of the building first and then subsequently the other sides of the building and then the back of the building, unless we get additional funding. It's ideally better to do the project all at once, but we do want to begin the project because the windows are not energy efficient, and we do get water seepage and such. So any questions?
So
Oh,
those phases,
Lots of
would
questions.
be over how long of a period? Do you know?
I'm hoping we get Neighborhood Assistance Act money, which would help expedite that. If not, then we will probably put it into our capital budget for fiscal year 23. So what we could do, and I know the COA is good for 6 months, I think I read.
Yeah.
So understanding that, you know, the approver would probably go beyond that. I could ideally try to get additional funds and hold off on doing the window project for a couple more months, but I really don't want to get into the winter months. And we are using the balance of some neighborhood assistance funds that we need to report on also.
Mhm.
So
What we
if
could always do,
focus on
Pam,
just
is
the
we could just extend the COA as need be as well. So just keep me posted as, you know, you guys progress with the project, and we can always extend it as well. And Tim, I interrupted you, I'm sorry. And then I see Greg
No.
Farlow's hand. So Tim, then Greg Farlow.
Okay, so again, if we were going to focus on just the front of the building, it looks like from the rendition is shutters on the front, replacement of the windows with the wooden Marvin. Is that true, or is that? I'm trying to scope out which ones get the internal storm, which ones get
Shutters,
the external.
sorry.
Yeah.
Shutters are at the end of the project. It's an additional about $23,000 she's estimating for shutters. So that would be after the fact. We're going to focus on the windows first. So the front of the building is interior storm windows, and they're 6/6 based on Evelyn's pictures.
What are they now? Are they 6/6 now?
No.
No, I think they're 2
Or
over
just,
2.
in other words, you're not going to be replacing it as it is now.
We're replacing it back to the historical, to the first
Oh, they
time.
had a 6x6 then, huh? Okay.
Yes, yes. She went back and showed pictures of what it was originally, and that's ideally when we discussed with Regan and Bill. That would be ideal, and so we're trying to be respectful of what it originally was.
Can you talk about what you're proposing for the storm windows? You talk about having interior storm windows on some and then exterior storm windows on the other windows. What are you proposing for that?
Let me just read. I took notes, so I'm just going to read my notes quickly. So exactly what she said. The idea is that the storm, and ideally we weren't even thinking storm windows because our staff, you know, it's energy efficient inside. We did Mitsubishi split units, so our staff don't typically open the windows. So there wasn't need for screens or storm windows or anything like that. But she's suggesting that the interior storm windows panels on the street facing the main facade so that the new window sash project the scale and detail of the divided light sash. So this is her expertise of what she's recommending.
Similar to what you have in the schoolhouse windows. Is that what you're talking about by interior?
Yeah, they've been interior storms, Greg Farlow, similar to what we have at the Lathrop Schoolhouse,
Okay.
yeah.
Mhm.
That,
Good.
the acrylic that you just put up inside, is that what you?
Yeah, it snaps in you. Works really good too.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned. Look, I just found the picture in the thing that, so you're talking about putting aluminum storm windows on the rest of the house?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
don't-
I'm not sure that we like exterior aluminum storms.
Nope.
They're wood window replacements. So the windows in the rear portion and the later bay of the additions are wood window replacements.
The storm is what you're worried about, right, Greg?
Yeah, and I see a picture there at the very last page of the thing. It's kind of in the very bottom corner. There's a proposed painted aluminum storm window.
In the east and west elevation, yes.
Hmm. It's not visible from the road?
Oh, yeah.
It is?
Almost the
Yeah.
whole house is visible from the road, except for the very back.
And the back is visible if you walk down the path to the cemetery.
Yeah.
So the whole house has to be considered to be visible.
And we did discuss that with Regan and Bill, and we were respectful of that. We've had, many discussions. We've had Branford Building Supplies give us suggestions regarding Marvin windows and such. And really, when we spoke with them, that wasn't necessarily ideal. So that's why we went the route of Evelyn to give us suggestions of what would be historically appropriate for us to get the energy efficiency we're looking for, but also keep the historical integrity of the house.
I mean, if you-
Regan, what are your thoughts?
Well, I figure we can move forward in discussion
Okay,
when we
All
are
right.
in the regular meeting portion.
good.
And,
If you're concerned about energy efficiency, did you consider doing, double pane wooden windows as opposed to single pane?
We discussed everything, and to be honest, Evelyn is the expert in this design and what we're looking for, and we went with her recommendations.
I think
How
we
could you
lost our
recommend-
recording secretary.
Where'd you go?
Oh. Uh-oh.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Richard, I think I interrupted you.
No, I was just trying to understand how aluminum windows could be period appropriate to the origination of the house.
Well, Pam, correct me if I'm wrong, the rear of the building is an addition. This was not original to the house, correct?
Yes.
Do you kind of know approximately when that addition was constructed?
We
20th century,
discussed
maybe?
it. I can't, what did you say?
Is it maybe 20th century? I'm not positive myself.
I'm not either.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah. But it's safe to say that it's a later addition to the 18th
Yes.
century portion of the house.
Yes.
The original house is 1790.
Mm-hmm. So Catherine, I see you, and are you the new phone number that just joined us, 377? Is that you, Catherine? If you
No.
can,
No, I'm sorry, my computer just shut down for some reason. I'm on my app, so that's someone else.
oh, okay, well, I will figure out who that is in one moment after we finish up with Pam here. Are there any further questions for the applicant? And Pam, do you have anything else that you'd like to add?
Oh, thank you for your consideration, and, happy to work with all of you.
Thank you. Do you guys have any further questions for Pam? Anyone on the commission? All right, hearing none. Pam, you're welcome to stick around if you'd like, or if you would prefer to jump off and have your dinner, that's fine too. Either way, you'll hear from me via email tomorrow.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a good night.
Pam, thank you.
Yeah.
So before we move forward on the agenda, I just want to make sure, I lost
Hey,
that.
Greg moved up.
Okay, never mind. We lost the phone number that came on. Okay,
Breaking news arrived on this date. Yeah.
so
On
anyway,
my own, I'm sorry. I didn't.
so the next COA we have on the agenda is COA 452 384 Washington Street, which is the Leffingwell House Museum. And we do have someone present here to discuss the application.
Well, there he is.
And so let me just wait for Catherine to come back. There we go. Okay, and then so Dane, you may take it away.
Good evening, everybody. Nice to see you all. This is Dane. And,
Hi, Dane.
submitting an application on behalf of Society of the Founders of Norwich at Leffingwell House Museum. We are in the process of acquiring, as outlined in the letter, what used to be a 3-seater outhouse on a 18th century farm, which came from Montville. And we're going to be relocating this outhouse to the grounds,
Nice.
which will be repurposed
Did you
as
get
a tool
football?
shed.
No.
And so we're going to end up doing a little bit of renovation to it, replace the shingles with wood shingles
When you're done,
and paint the sides red to match the house. And on the documents that I submitted, you'll see that we're going to be placing it on the side garden near the rear of the house, on the side garden that faces towards the highway. So I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody may have regarding the new structure.
Does it have a moon on it?
It does not
No
have
moon.
a moon on it.
No moon or stars, okay.
Non-functioning outhouse.
I
A
was gonna
locked
say single
one.
ply, single ply, double ply, or leaves.
I had to think
Oh,
about that
yeah.
for a second.
Yeah, we thought we were talking wood.
Three holes, they're all the same size.
Yeah, 3 holes, all the same size. One for each
Yep.
pair. That was a great
And
find,
again,
thank you.
which corner is it, or where is it going in, on the property line, or the property?
It's going to be going at the rear of the house on the side, on the side garden. It's
Picture.
right, basically adjacent to the 2 Town Street parcels. So it's in the back of the house.
Okay, thank you.
It's gonna be up on the flat there, not on the, you're not gonna try to fill in the bank or anything.
No, it'll be on the flat part.
That's a nice picture you put together there, Dane. Did you get a nice drone shot from somebody? That's nice.
Yes, it is a good shot.
All right, are there any further questions for the applicant? Do you have any further comments?
I don't think so, unless anybody has any questions about the application.
You'll be the first to know.
All right, well then, you're welcome to hang out, or you are welcome to go away as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all. So with that, that is all of the COAs we have for the public hearing. I will close the public hearing and open up the regular meeting at 6:04 p.m. And the first item on our agenda is action on COAs. So I'm just going to start in the order that is on the agenda. So starting with COA 447 39 East Town Street. I would entertain a motion to discuss this application, since we did not have a applicant present to discuss.
I'll make that motion to open it for discussion.
Thank you, Greg Johnson. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Gowan seconds.
I think I heard Richard first. So Richard seconded that
Richard
motion.
wins.
And so I just wanted to discuss it first because I did have some updates from the homeowner. This was an application that was on our agenda back in March, and we had tabled it for this meeting pending further information from the homeowner. And I did have some email correspondence with them, and I wanted to read a few of those comments for the commission. They didn't answer our questions, perfectly, but at least they gave a little bit more, excuse me, background to their decision-making process regarding the material for the chimney. So the reason why they wanted to go with the metal chimney cap versus using a slate or bluestone was because according to them and according to their contractor, and this is via the email that I'm reading off of here, the flat stone allows rain to roll under the covering and into the flue. They also said that a stone does not protrude far enough beyond the chimney to deflect rain away from the chimney like a larger metal cap would. They're concerned about moisture in the winter. That would damage the mortar joints. And another concern is that the bluestone did not prevent animals from nesting in the chimney.
All right.
So those are some of
Gotta
the
put
comments.
netting
that
in
the
it.
applicant- What was that, Greg Farlow?
You have to put netting inside of it, the chimney, on the top, the birds don't go in. You know, chicken
Yes,
wire takes care
they
of that
said
problem.
that they weren't so sure about the metal, the mesh screen that you just referred
Okay.
to. He said that
Yeah,
there are lots of codes about where mesh screens can go, and that also it would look bad. That was the
Would be a
thought process
hardware
behind
cloth,
that.
the 1/4-inch square hole.
yeah.
The, their reasoning for not wanting to do that was what again, Megan?
They didn't want a mesh screen because they felt like it would look bad, and there are issues about codes of where mesh screen can go. And well, let me just read this again. So you mentioned that there are lots of codes about where mesh screens, parentheses, also looks bad, can and cannot go, and venting cross-section requirements.
Okay,
what
I
the
don't know
email
what the
said.
Norwich city codes are, so.
Yeah, I don't know that either.
I've always seen the mess, you kind of shove it down the flue about a couple of inches and nothing gets in. Whatever, I guess this is,
Mhm.
Well, there, there are a lot of loose flake top chimneys in the district. Why all of a sudden they don't work?
I know we had to do it for the carpenter shop, the schoolhouse as well, didn't we? With the slate.
It's not done yet.
Oh, no, we got the carpenter shop needs slate, Cam?
Yeah, the museum has slate. The property shop is gonna get it maybe this fall.
Okay, yeah, well,
The other thing I wanted just to mention in the email, the chimney structure is going to look a little different, which is what I think we were mostly concerned about. He said that the chimney would be shorter as the supports for the bluestone would be removed. And the very top portion would be modified so it will connect with the custom cap. And it would be made similar to the shape of the yellow house in the COA, and it will have the little bump out. So that's what I think we're most concerned about with this application, was the altering of the chimney and also the material of the cap.
I don't have a color, so the yellow is the 425 Washington, it would look like, the 420, which.
I believe, let me find the
Yes,
application.
yeah, that's correct, Tim.
425, okay.
Yes, that's right, Tim. Yep.
So it'll still have a bump out. It's going to be brought down and a different bump out, it looks like, or it's hard to tell from the actual picture of their house. There is a bump out already. Lose the couple risers up to the bluestone, but it sounds like they would be taking down the chimney below that riser, building it back up, or below the bump out, building it back up, and then with a different bump out, and then adding the chimney top that they're proposing.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, Tim. Yep. So the commission just needs to decide if that is acceptable to us.
And the COA hasn't changed since. It's just the emails between. This is the exact same COA that was presented in March.
Correct. Yeah, the COA has not changed. We tabled it back in March pending additional information, which I just read to you, the email correspondence I've had with the applicant. And that's what we are deciding on at this point, based off the additional information that I procured and the original application. And Greg Farlow, I saw your hand raised, so go ahead.
I'm trying to be kind. What was I going to say? Wait a minute. Never mind, go ahead. Oh, yeah, my question was this, is it going to be like a silver color aluminum? Or could it be black or something so it's not as, hey, I got a silver cap on my, because obviously they want to go with the metal from the way they, wrote the letter.
I think they said they wanted to use copper.
Yeah,
Copper?
I believe it was copper, yeah.
Oh, okay, then, okay, that's good then.
Yeah, copper is a good alternative material. And I'm looking at his email again. I think they liked the copper because it would, let me see. Okay, so they didn't want a shiny metal cap. They liked the copper cap because it becomes black and not green, and so it'd not be flashy. So that's
Yeah.
their rationale behind that.
Just what I said.
So-
Great.
So again, the concern is obviously critters getting down it, but also it sounds like the bigger concern was water, which was the bluestone doesn't provide ample coverage for water to get in.
Correct.
Is that okay?
Yep, that's fair. That's correct. Yeah.
I'm not sure I agree with that, but
I don't agree with the water thing, unless you got a lot of wind driving the rain. You know, I don't see it weeping around the edges, it's dropping down in the chimney, as they explained.
And I'll point out, I know it's been said before, it doesn't matter what's on other houses in the neighborhood or whatever. It doesn't mean you have a free will to go toward that same thing. It doesn't mean we have to say because a house at 425 and 420 Washington Street have it, that it's that they automatically are able to get the same
Right.
application.
I can't see it from here.
yeah, actually, Tim, all of the houses right next to them have the stone tops. The Washington Street ones are down the road a little bit from them.
Who dat?
The puppers.
Boo. All right, never mind.
So any further discussion is we should vote on this today. We can either choose to accept or deny this application. We've already tabled it once, and there's a limitation on how many days that we have to leave this application open before it automatically gets approved.
Okay. Regan, my opinion is that they should maintain the bluestone cap with some kind of guard for critters. But I don't like to see us go backwards on this stuff. You know, you're allowing a progression in style that is not appropriate to the house.
I think I'm in the same boat. If anything, if you wanted to put a slightly larger bluestone up there to provide a little bit more coverage, I would be more inclined with that. But that's just my thoughts.
I'm kind of of the same opinion.
Okay. Nancy, what are your feelings about everything? Let me see if I can unmute you. And Nancy, you're muted.
Unmute there.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's reasonable. Could it be approved with specification? Or do you think no?
I think the concern is if we approve it with specifications, the COA is asking for the metal, or I should say the copper cap, and we're saying that that is our sticking point.
Right, so probably
I
have to
think it'd
deny
probably
it.
have
huh?
to be denied.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. All right. Oh. All right.
Okay, so so thank you all for the discussion. I appreciate it. So I will now ask for a motion then to deny the application as discussed and as submitted. And I'm going to just go ask everybody in the way that you're showing on my screen here and do a roll call vote. So I will start with you, Greg Farlow. That's
Do we
an
have a
aye.
motion though? Did you get a motion?
Oh my gosh, thank you, Nancy. My brain is, I forgot to ask for a motion. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Well, we have the original motion to accept it, and so.
Sorry,
is
guys,
that
my
what we're
brain
not-
is not with it today.
Okay.
I would ask for a motion to deny
What
The
about the
application-
original motion that's on the table?
The original motion was just to open it for discussion.
Yes, so the original
Okay.
motion was to open it for discussion, yes. So we had made that motion and seconded the discussion. So then based off discussion, I am asking for a motion to deny the application.
Okay, I move to deny COA, what is the COA number?
447?
447. And under the, because it would change the character of the house.
I'll second.
Greg Johnson, okay, thank you. So now I'll ask for the roll call. Sorry for getting ahead of myself earlier. So now I'll do the
You
roll
want
call.
dinner.
What's that?
You want dinner.
I know. I don't know where my brain was. So I'll do a roll call vote, and I'm just doing it based on where you guys are on my screen. So I'll start with you, Greg Farlow.
You're muted.
May I interrupt and ask whether there should be a yay or nay vote? I mean, which one does what?
So a
Well, we don't-
yay vote would be that you're voting to deny the application.
A yay vote, okay.
Mhm. And so Greg Farlow's raising his hand for yay. Greg Johnson,
Yay.
thumbs up for yay. Richard,
Yay.
Nancy,
Yay.
Tim,
Yay to deny.
and I will also say yay to deny. So the motion passes unanimously. Thank you, everybody.
And tell them we'll be watching that real carefully.
All right, so next we have COA 448 55 East Town Street. I would entertain a motion to accept the COA as written and presented.
I'll
I
make
move we accept.
Thank you, Nancy. Is there a second?
second.
Thank you, Greg Johnson. Any discussion on the
Okay, this
application?
is the UCS place, right?
No, this is 55 East Town Street. This is the Gardner Carpenter shop.
Oh,
Gardner
oh,
Carpenter house.
Yeah.
This is the Callan and Shapiro house.
Yes.
Right, okay, sorry.
That's okay.
Wood roofing.
Yes.
Single.
Like for like.
Just-
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we're happy with we're happy with the craftsmanship of what they did on the other in the neighborhood. So to me,
Yeah, they did the
like
laughing
like
well.
in that. Yeah. So it sounds pretty good for me.
Yeah, they're good workers, high end, but good.
They also take great overhead shots.
They also take very good pictures too, because they drone them. They do, they take pictures of your house. Yeah, it's just,
So any further discussion on the application?
No.
All right, hearing none, I'll do the roll call vote one more time. So Greg Farlow,
I,
thank you. Greg Johnson?
Yay.
yay, I'm
Gajdovec?
sorry. Yay.
Richard?
Yay.
Nancy?
Yay.
And Tim?
Yay to approve.
And I will say yes to approve. So thank you all. The motion passes unanimously. Awesome. So then the next COA we have is COA 449 7 East Town Street.
Mhm.
And I would entertain a motion to approve the application as submitted and presented.
So moved.
I move.
Thank
I'll
you, Greg.
second.
Thank you, Greg Johnson, and seconded by Tim. Discussion. Is there any discussion on the application?
I think-
What is, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think we should recommend that he put up the shrubs like we were discussing.
Mhm.
I would suggest that also.
Sounds
Slow,
good.
slow growing Alberta spruce work very well. It won't be out there beating up the bushes every year.
Great. So
And
what I
and
can do,
I think, and again, I think that's a better option than trying to place it underneath the deck and not being able to cover any of it through that. So I like that option
Okay.
better.
Yeah, okay. Let's call for a vote.
I agree. I think having the unit being covered by a plant that matches the existing bush in front of the property right there, I think that would be ideal. And I can specify that in the COA when I send them the written notification tomorrow.
Yes.
So any further discussion?
Nope.
All right, hearing none, I will ask for the roll call vote again. So Greg Farlow,
Yay.
awesome. Greg Johnson,
Yay.
Richard,
Yay.
Nancy,
Yay.
Tim,
Yay to approve.
and I will also say yay, yes, and the motion passes unanimously. So the COA is approved. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate that. So the next COA we have is COA 450 87 Town Street. We did not have an applicant present to discuss this application. And I did, well, actually, I'll go in and tell you guys that in discussion. So should we make a motion to discuss the application first, since there's some things that I wanted to share with everybody?
Yeah.
I move that we're open to discussion. Yeah.
Second, because I'm not
Okay.
even sure what I can't find on the application what they want to do. It doesn't really say.
There's nothing on there.
They check skylights, but
Mhm.
I don't know that they say anything else.
Yeah, so
Right.
I did have some conversations with the people who are at Sweet Mamas. They're the ones who are applying for the COA. They are looking to put an awning in front of the building to prevent some of the sunlight from literally baking them in their bakery.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
And so I'd even stopped there on Tuesday because I had asked them for a written description because, I needed a little bit more information than what they had submitted. And she told me she was going to send me a description Tuesday night, and I didn't get it. So when I spoke with them in person, they were going to give us a couple options to choose from and basically have us choose what we think would be appropriate for the space. I'm not sure if what they've submitted meets that specification completely, because I'm not totally sure what some of these examples are. So that's what I've
it
learned
goes
from the
across
applicant.
the whole. It goes across, not just over the door. It would go across the big picture window that shows their bakery items. I would assume it's
Yeah,
the
that's my
whole.
understanding. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I would say that of the two options that they have shown, certainly the one to the first one doesn't look anything period appropriate, and I'm not all that keen on the second one either. But again, I think we might want to table or something. In my opinion, table it.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to suggest. Given that we don't have a whole lot of information, they haven't provided the written description or the options. So maybe we could just table this and let them come to the next meeting and describe it better.
Is there a example that I could give to them, because they were looking to me for guidance, and I said that they'd have to submit a COA for us to make a determination. I couldn't tell them what we'd approve or what we wouldn't approve. But is there any guidance I could give them?
Well, one example of something that we just approved recently are the awnings that Maria Miranda put up on hers. So.
Right. Okay. That's a good idea. Thank you, Greg.
I mean, I'm definitely in favor of them having an awning. I just think before we approve an application, we need to have a little more detail.
I agree. Yeah. I'm just making
Are
a note.
the ones on Maria or Miranda Creative, is that, forgive me, I don't remember, is it anything old timey or is it appropriate to their brick building?
They are basically black canvas awnings. It's kind of a standard, I don't know, triangular awning kind of shape. It's
I
black.
mean, when people come in with when people come in and say, I want to put up a sign or something like that, we have guidance of the letters have to be certain length or certain dimensions and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know of anything that would say back in the day, this is what would be appropriate for an awning. I don't know.
Sailcloth. Yeah.
What I can
What'd you
do
say,
is
burlap?
Sailcloth.
what I can do is look at old photos of the building because I know that there's a couple old buildings of 87 Town Street, and I can see what the building has. As I'm pretty confident there's some old photos of the building with awnings on it, so I can look at that and see if there's a way we can match that.
What, Cammy?
I think I might have a picture right now.
So any further discussion?
Cam has a picture of it. She's searching it out now. She'll get it to you later.
Okay, no worries. I know where I can find one too. Thank you.
You get her out, Cam.
Yeah. So based on discussion, I would entertain a motion to table this application for next meeting, pending further information provided by the applicant.
Yeah. Okay.
What she said.
I'll second.
Thanks, guys.
Yay.
Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, I'll do the roll call vote again. So Greg Farlow,
Yay.
Greg Johnson,
Yay.
Richard,
Yay.
Nancy,
Yay.
Tim,
Yay to table.
and I will
Yay
say
to-
yay to table. Thank you all. The motion passes unanimously. Moving on here, we have COA 451 34 East Town Street. Oops, I lost my agenda. There we go. 34 East Town Street. So I'm trying to gauge the room if this wants to be a discussion, open for discussion first, or if I should make a motion first. I'm trying to.
You're talking.
What is that here?
Can we?
If you were trying to gauge it, it sounds like a long-term thing, so it wouldn't, it seems like it would, could be multiple COAs through the phases, but that just if you're gauging.
Yeah. Well, I would ask for a motion to approve as submitted and presented. And is there anyone willing to make that motion?
I don't like the application the way it's submitted right now.
I'd like to just get a little discussion on it. Can we have a discussion on this a bit?
Can we make a motion to approve just part of the application, or does it have to be approved or disapproved in total?
Well, so let's, I guess, make a motion to discuss first, and we can then delve into that a little bit more, Greg Johnson. So is there a motion to discuss the application?
Motion
Yes.
to discuss.
Okay.
I think I heard that was Richard, and
Yep.
did I hear Greg Farlow second?
I sure will.
Okay.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Okay, discussion.
Okay, point. Go on. Go ahead, Greg.
I was looking at the documents they submitted while some other people were talking, and actually what they've proposed is they are proposing energy efficient windows for the rear addition. Those are double pane in the picture there. And so those would not have the storm windows. They're talking about single pane for the original house, and they're talking about the aluminum storm windows are supposed to be on the original house. just not on the street side. It's going to be on the sides of the original house. That's not on the addition.
which is wrong.
Yeah, so I have a problem with that.
What page are you on, Greg? Because I don't feel like I remember that, but
The-
I could be misremembering.
The very last page of the document they submitted,
Okay,
and the very end of that, they've got the the three sets of pictures there for proposed original house, proposed rear addition, and then they've got the storms and the shutters.
okay. I'm just reading it myself.
So I
So
like,
I'm confused also of where those storms would go there, I guess, because above it shows a dual pane, right? So I'm not sure where's and all the other ones were interior. I thought it was interior for the front interior storm.
Check the windows.
someplace where it said that the interior storms were going to be on the street side.
Gonna be what?
On the street side. So it looks like what they've done.
Yeah.
So the original house, they want to do those wooden single pane windows. And then in the rear addition is they have the wood insulated glass windows.
Uh-huh.
And then the inside storms from the windows on the front of the house, and then the aluminum storm windows on the east and west sides of the original house.
But the picture does not look like an aluminum window. They have it in
I see that picture. Of their window they're talking about.
But I don't understand the picture of the actual cutaway window.
Well, they have that picture. It's in white of that storm window. I'm not sure why they have that cutaway corner above the storm window. I'm not sure what that's about.
Yeah, that's what's confusing me, because that's they aren't the same thing. I don't think.
No, I don't. I don't know what that picture is either. So I mean, for the original windows, they show the little cutaway shows. Okay, yep, it's the true lights. It's a single pane, and then they got for the rear addition, they show that okay, it's a double glass, and it's the wood is on the surface of the glass. Okay, but then I don't know why they have that cutout for the storm window, because that's not a storm window. The big picture is, but I don't know why they have that cutout there.
Yeah, that's they need to give us some guidance on that one.
So that's on the east and west elevation. So go back to A2. East and west are the two sides. Not front facing would be the
north side.
North elevation. Yep. And so now it would be coming down the driveway is your east elevation, correct? And half of that is single pane with internal storms, and then the back part of that, it looks like 6 2/2s. That would be, I'm guessing that middle rear addition.
No, what they're saying, the first half, if you go down the driveway, the first half of that east elevation, which is the original house, would be the single pane 6/6 with that aluminum storm window. The back half of the house would be the insulated 2/2.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So those front ones, it looks like 8 of them would be storm windows on that one. And then on the opposite side, just below it, it looks like 4 windows there would be with storm windows, correct?
Yeah, there's aluminum storms, yeah.
And then the front of it, internal storms, because then it wouldn't cover up their 6/6. So, okay. Now I think
So
I'm
is
seeing
is
it.
the concern the aluminum storms on the rear? Is that what is mostly the concern for everyone?
Well, it's
The
the aluminum storm on the sides. It's not the rear.
Oh, and the sides, excuse me, I'm sorry, and the sides.
On old timey looking windows. That's the part that doesn't jibe. Let's go back to the original 6/6, whatever, but put storm windows over it on the east and west side.
So
Right.
go ahead.
So why it wouldn't have internal storm windows for those ones, just like the front? I don't think I'd have a problem with that.
Yeah, I agree with Tim.
Is an internal not as efficient, or they seem to be happy with it for the front of the house? I'm not sure if it's efficiency wise, or I don't think they're worried about the efficiency. It was more of a look of what they were trying to do on the front side, they said. So I'm not sure why that wouldn't be applicable to those 10, 6, 7, 8, those 12 east and west side windows.
Mhm.
We have the storms at the Leffingwell. It saved us about almost 40% in heat putting them in, so they do work. The problem is they don't protect the windows from people throwing rocks at them. And we're getting, 1750 glass getting broken there. We have to put storms on the outside as well as the one on the inside because of vandalism at the Leffingwell. So they may want to consider that, but
I don't think.
that's my only comment on that.
This is an occupied building, so it's
Yeah.
probably not that much of an issue, I would think.
Well, okay, that's up to them. But that's the only benefit of putting the outside. The insides work really well. They really, really do.
I'll only say, other than that, I know it's going to be top quality for whatever they put in. So,
Yeah.
but that's my only concern would be those aluminum storms on the east and west is the only thing I don't like.
So what I can do too is I'm going to have to abstain from this application because I worked with the architect and Pam with this. I am in favor of this application. I hear the concerns about the aluminum storms, and so I'm happy to relay that concern to the architect and say, hey, is there any way these could be on the inside, or could the storms be a different material?
Yeah, and explain the picture. See, why is the picture so different than the cutaway picture shows a window, double pane window of some sort.
Can we approve it? Can we approve something and let them get going?
Yeah.
Other than the east and west, 6/6 windows, outdoor aluminum storm window treatment?
You could do it
Approve
with the
everything but that?
reservation on that.
Yeah, what we could do, Tim, is we can approve with modifications.
Yeah. So we'll get back to
Well,
that.
Sorry, I'm just taking notes. I can't talk and write at the same time.
So can I make a motion that we approve the application with the exception of no aluminum storm windows?
Exterior aluminum storm windows, yeah.
Second.
Thank you, Greg, and thank you, Richard. Is there any further discussion?
But then we won't know what the material is, right? That they propose in place of it if we approve it that way, right? Or do we know?
Well, they would have to come back, wouldn't they, for the final treatment if they were to put some sort of storm?
Well, I don't know. If the way it was just said, approve, but with no exterior aluminum storm windows. So if they just don't put aluminum storm windows and put something else, it sounds like we've approved it. But we don't know what the something else is, do we?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Could we say that to separate it, what they're doing, the storms from the rest of the window work? So 2 separate COAs.
Or
You know what
could
I'm
you
saying?
approve
could-
it and could you table part of it? And let them get
Okay.
going on the rest of it? Is that something you could do? Because I think the implication that was just said was they'd come back and we'd discuss the rest of that
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah.
So maybe table that part and approve the rest. Or does that make sense? You don't really want to table the whole thing because they want to get going, right?
Right. So what we could do is, the motion is to approve the application with no exterior aluminum storm windows. I could add in my comments to them, interior windows, interior storm windows, or an alternate material for the exterior storms, such as wood, would be appropriate.
Then well, does that mean that's what we approve though? So you're just
Yep.
making suggestions again. So what does our approval mean? That's dubious, I think.
I guess my intention on the motion was that we were approving just the window piece of the application, and if they wanted to do something else with the exterior storms, then they're going to need to come back.
I'd say a
Yeah, that's what
separate
I
COA
took it
for
as.
storms.
Okay.
Exterior storms.
Okay, yeah, exterior storms, come back with COA.
Does that help them to approve everything except the exterior storms, or is that not sensible?
Yes.
I'm just looking at their application again. I think that will at least help them get started. They can start with the front.
They can put their windows
portion.
in,
Yeah, they
could
could
put the-
start with the front part of the
this-
project.
or they could put their 70+ windows in. That'll
Weren't they
take them
gonna
a
do
while,
it? They were gonna do it in parts anyway, right? Or something?
Yeah,
unless they
Didn't
got
they-
that community grant.
Or for that matter,
So-
they could start at the rear where there's not going to be any storms at all, so that there's no controversy over the rear section.
Mhm. So
Nice boat, Richard.
So just so that I understand with the motion, and so what I'm saying in my comments to them, so we're approving the application, but we are not approving the exterior aluminum storm windows and advising them to come back with a separate COA for any proposed exterior storm windows.
Sure.
Okay.
I guess so. Does that make sense? Does that give them enough to get started on?
Well, they've got more than 70 windows. That's what that's plenty of work.
Okay.
I think it does, and I think that's it. That's what my understanding and the intent was.
Yep.
We want another
Yeah.
say on whatever the exterior treatment is.
Okay.
Well, let's do the windows, they come back with the storms later.
Okay.
All right, we ready to vote?
Yes. I'm
Thanks.
just-
Did anybody say, I'll second that, whatever that is that we just said. Is that considered having been made as a motion now, or?
I think that was Greg's motion. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was seconded.
And it's already seconded? Oh,
I think so. Was that Richard, I think, who seconded?
Sure.
early
yeah, but
on.
now we
I'm not
changed
sure
it, so
quite
do
what
you both approve?
Catherine, I hope you can have a mic or not. Can you read us the original motion just so that we're all on the same page here, please?
Yeah, so I had just kind of revised what Greg's motion said, so this is what I have. Gregory Johnson made a motion to approve the application with the exception of the aluminum exterior storm windows and the recommendation of a new COA for any proposed external storm windows. Richard Guidebeck seconded.
Perfect. I think that sounds good. Does that work for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Catherine. Appreciate that.
Love good
All right.
secretaries.
So any further discussion? All right, hearing none, we'll do the roll call vote. So Greg Farlow,
Yay.
thank you. Greg Johnson,
Yay.
Richard,
Yay.
Nancy,
Yay.
Tim,
Yay.
and I will abstain since I was directly involved in the application, so I'm abstaining my vote. But the motion still carries. Thank you all very much. Last COA is COA 452-380, excuse me,
Crapper for the
348,
Washington.
sorry, 348 Washington. I would entertain a motion to accept the COA as presented and submitted.
So moved.
Thank you,
I'll
Greg,
second.
I have
And
to
thank-
recuse.
and thank you,
the
Tim.
vote.
So
Oh, that
discussion,
Greg, okay.
yes, Greg Farlow, you and I will have to recuse ourselves.
Yeah,
I have
Oh, this is the outhouse, yeah.
it's a little crapper, yeah.
What was that, Greg Johnson? I'm sorry, I think I interrupted you.
I have no questions. Ready to vote.
Okay, any discussion?
I wish it had a half moon circle or whatever in there.
We can
but
do
anyway.
that. We can work on
Yeah.
that.
That's
Paint a
funny.
moon on it. Yeah, but all the homeless will come there.
Oh,
The guy on the corner, you know, with a sign. Yeah.
All right, so I will do the roll call vote, and Greg Farlow, you'll go first. So you're
I can't.
recusing.
I have to
Yeah,
recuse.
so you abstain.
I'm abstaining.
Excellent, thank you. Greg Johnson,
Yay?
Richard,
yay.
Nancy,
Yay.
Tim,
Yay to approve.
and I will abstain as well. So the motion carries. Thank you all very much. Awesome.
Tell Regan
Um,
we're wanting pictures.
The next item on our agenda is the approval of minutes of the Wednesday, March 17th, 2021 regular meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
I'd like to approve the minutes as submitted.
Thank you, Greg Farlow. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you so much, Nancy. Is there any discussion on the minutes?
Yeah, I had actually one correction for Catherine. I'm trying to find my minutes here. Here you go. In paragraph E, under new business, that's Huntington Lane, not Hunting Lane.
Oh, good catch. Thanks.
Yeah, we do have a Hunter's Lane.
Not hunting.
Yeah, Cam sent you pictures already of the awnings.
Thank you. I will take a look.
For 'em.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Any further corrections to the minutes or any other corrections or discussion regarding the minutes?
Oh,
All right, hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote to approve the minutes with the correction as stated by Greg Johnson. Greg Farlow,
yay.
Greg Johnson,
Yay?
Richard,
Yay.
Nancy,
Yay.
Tim,
Abstain.
thank you, and Regan, aye.
Did you read it?
The minutes, excuse me, the motion passed. Thank you very much, everybody, and thank you, Catherine, for doing a wonderful job as always. I do not have anything to report in chairman's report, nor do I have anything to state under old business. I do have the new business item of the reviewing the design guidelines RFP that I submitted to Catherine to send to you guys with all the COAs to review prior to the meeting. Does anyone have any questions or thoughts about the RFP? I'm happy to answer things to the best of my ability.
Um,
No, I'm going to admit that I did not have time to review it, so I really don't have any questions at this point.
That's fair. Thanks, Greg.
what is the overall purpose you're trying to get at here?
So the purpose of the grant that we received from the state of Connecticut's Historic Preservation Office is that this grant will help us to hire a consultant who will update our design guidelines. Right now we have about maybe a page or two of design guidelines that are currently in our documents. And I think it will be useful to have updated design guidelines to help proposed applicants know what to expect and what the commission would expect in their application, number one, and what they should look for when they're looking for materials, when they're asking contractors for opinions on these projects. It will help the building department. It'll help us make a determination. Basically, it's just a tool for the commission and a tool for the applicants so that they know what to expect and know what is expected of them.
Mm-hmm.
And my hope is to have, oh, sorry, go ahead, Tim.
Well, I was just going to say, so the RFP, so we're going to send out an RFP to whoever, whoever wants to do it. And my only concern, I guess, would be with calling out that we have $17,000 to spend and in something like that. I'm sure they would come back and say, I can do it in $16,999 or something. Or maybe I'm missing the overall point, or this just for our
No, I
purposes
think
here,
it's funny
or-
that you just brought that up, Tim, because I had a phone call with the city's purchasing agent this afternoon because I wanted him to look over the RFP to give me his thoughts. Since this is technically a city grant, because we're a city commission. And he brought up that same point about hesitating whether or not to include the dollar amount in the RFP. So I can change that language to say something like, I don't know, like, we are a commission that has a nominal budget, so, please place your bid accordingly or something to that extent. I don't have to put the full dollar amount in.
we know what it is. We could maybe hint at the scope of the thing here, but if someone comes in at $1,000 and it's
Mhm.
really well done, then, certainly entertain it. But anyway, that's my only thought.
When it comes to that, I'm not against putting the amount in there because as somebody that works on projects and doing proposals all the time, knowing the dollar amount is actually very helpful to somebody bidding on it because then they can scope their work to fit the budget.
Yeah.
But on us as the people issuing the RFP, it'd be important to have good evaluation criteria so that when you get the proposals in, so yes, if you tell them the amount, a responsible bidder is going to give you the work is going to give you a cost of the amount that you've asked for. So you've got to have evaluation criteria that can give us the best proposal for that $17,000. I mean, you can't have the evaluation criteria just be the best price because you've told them all the price. So you want
right.
the best amount of work, the best value for that money.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And if someone comes in and says, I'm going to give you A, B, C, D for 16 or 17,000, and someone says, I'll give you A for 17, that's certainly, yeah, I get it. So maybe, yeah, kind of scoping. I don't know. The actual amount or somewhere limiting them.
Yeah, it's not going to be helpful if if you get 3 bidders come back with bids of $50,000 because I think that's what it's going to take, and it's nowhere clear near the amount we have. So
yeah, you don't want to waste your time.
Yeah. So the way this would work is that since this grant is under $25,000, we don't have to do a whole formal bid procurement. If this is going to be over $25,000, then we'd have to go through the city's whole formal bid process where it's advertised on their website, advertised on various state websites, etc. But since this is under $25,000, what we need to do is just solicit 3 bids, 3 quotes from qualified consultants to bid on the project. And then we review the bids and make our determination on who we would like to perform the work. So that's kind of how the process would work. So I have a couple people in mind who I think would be good consultants for this project. So I would directly reach out to them and say, hey, this is a proposal. If you're interested in bidding, please send me a proposal.
Huh?
So that's how that would work. And I would share all the proposals with the commission at the probably not the next meeting, maybe June. I'm blanking on when I submitted the deadline for the RFP. I can't, it might have been June 1st that I had the deadline. I can't remember. But anyway, at the next appropriate commission meeting is when we would review all the applications together as a group and make a determination together.
Yeah, it says June 1st.
Oh, thank you, Tim.
Yeah.
A nice ship, Richard.
I'm not actually where it looks like I'm at. That's
Well,
actually,
I got
the
mine up.
ICRC. That's
That's
format.
okay with me.
Top sail
Yeah, it's a
schooner.
schooner. Yeah, that's nice, like a windjammer. But go
So
ahead,
is there any questions regarding the RFP or the process that I just outlined?
No,
Okay.
I'm looking here. So the submission deadline is the 28th. the period of performance is June 1st, so
Okay,
decision
thank
would
you.
have to be made.
So then at
somewhere
our June
in the
meeting is when
first
we
few
would
days or
make the
whatever.
determination.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you for that, Tim. I didn't have it in front of me. Okay, so then our next meeting, our next regular meeting is Wednesday, May 19th, 2019, at 5:30. I think we're still going to be virtual. My feeling is we're going to be virtual until I hear otherwise from the city. So hope that works for everybody.
Right.
I'm actually going to be on travel and but I think I'm going to have internet, so I'm going to try to actually get in here on.
Good deal. Good
I won't be
beans.
calling. So.
Will do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds good, Tim. Thank you so much. I
It'll be
hope
a
you're going to go somewhere
multinational-
warm and
yeah.
fun.
Aruba.
Ooh, that's warm and fun. There you go. All right. Is there any other business to bring before the commission? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Greg Johnson. Is there a second?
Second.
Thanks, Nancy. I'm going to be lame and do another roll call vote, everybody. So, so now you've shifted on my screen, so I'll have Richard, you start this time.
I'm shifting.
Yay.
And then Greg Johnson,
Hey. anytime.
Nancy,
Yay.
Greg Farlow,
Yay.
Tim.
I was going to bet the house you couldn't get this done by 7. And if I keep on holding on and filibustering here, you won't be able to, but I
And they get rid of that.
I'll say yay.
Thank you. And I will also say yay. Thank you guys very much. Go have dinner, enjoy, and see you next month.
Thank you,
Thank
Rich.
you.
Thank you all.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.